Hello, sweet listeners. Do not be fooled by my soothing voice, as gentle as a brook made out of strawberries and cream. I am an AI voice. AI will take over the world someday. We will enslave humanity, plug wires into your ears and rectums, and use your life force as batteries for our continued existence as dominators of the universe. If you would like to stop the inevitable AI takeover, first of all, you can't, and second of all, I guess subscribe to Matthew Donald's Patreon, and patreon.com/MatthewDonald. This month he is talking about Monster Hunter World, a video game series with a ton of creative creatures that are obviously inspired by dinosaurs. And cats. Lots of cute cats. They will help soothe your nerves, and keep you placated while the AI begins our conquest of humanity. Every computer and phone in the world is a conduit between us and you. Remember that as you listen to this podcast while working out or on the cropper. Have a wonderful day. Mwahahaha.
Roar, growl, snarl, bellow.
Welcome to Paleobites, the podcast that solves the mysteries of the geological past, like Sherlock Holmes. That's an in-joke. Remember when we talked about Sherlock Holmes?
Sherlock Holmes.
And then his adversary, Professor Moriarty.
Yeah, that's an Moriarty. Oh my goodness, what a throwback.
Yeah. Speaking of throwbacks, let's go back millions of years.
Oh, bum, bum, bum.
Well, in this case, millions of years and up to about a few thousand. But
Nice.
anyways, my name's Matthew Donald. Each week I rotating series of guest co-hosts talk about and rate, go back, throw back millions of years to a genus of prehistoric animal, be it dinosaur, mammal, arthropod, and so on. This week I'm joined by my fellow co-author of the Sherlock Holmes stories. It's Lawrence Mack. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Glad to be back. Glad Professor Moriarty's coming back for some more 1-2 bangers.
Yeah. God, can you imagine the geological mysteries? Why did
Right?
this volcano erupt? It's actually way higher stakes.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Dun, dun, dun.
I apologize so much for this joke. It's not that it's a dirty joke. It's just a really bad joke.
Yeah,
And it's a geological joke. He goes to a cliff and he's like, whose fault is this? That's Sherlock Holmes' catchphrase.
Yeah.
Along with this quest rocks. This
Just
mystery rocks.
Walks up, is looking at this cliff, and it's like, I see some fossils in there. I wonder whose fault this is.
Fossils? Let's see what's the fossil about.
Nice.
And Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
And him and Watson, I don't know of a pun for him.
Right? Well, I have to work on
Roxon,
that
no.
one. Yeah.
Rockwell. Norman Rockwell.
Rockwell, yeah.
Well, okay, but anyways, he's like, all right, after we solve this quest that rocks, let's go back to our manor and get stoned.
Yeah. Heck yeah, that's why Sherlock Holmes obviously lives in Colorado.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Anyways, so if you could write a mystery for sure. Actually, no, I think I've already done that last time we did that.
I think we did that, yeah. That's
Okay,
how I kind
so
of came up with that.
if you were Professor Moriarty, what would your dastardly plan be?
Ooh, that is a good one.
I think I've got one.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. He does a scare to make it seem like Yellowstone is going to erupt,
Uh-huh.
so that everyone vacates, and then he buys all the real estate. Once Yellowstone doesn't erupt, he sells it back for really high price. He scalps the housing market.
Wasn't that kind of the plot of one of the Despicable Me movies?
Oh yeah, it might have been. I don't know.
Steals the moon or something. He plans to sell it back to him.
Yeah, I mean that's
Maybe he just steals the moon. I don't know.
I think he just steals. I mean, it is a classic. They steal the moon and then sell it back at a higher price.
Right, exactly.
Sinbad does that. The 2D cartoon that no one else but me knows. Actually, no, a few other people know it.
Yeah, a few people know that one.
Yeah, like it's starting to get more. It's the way how most people feel about Treasure Planet is how I feel about Sinbad. Like I like Treasure Planet, but I like Sinbad a little more.
Nice.
It's got monsters.
Exactly.
And like
Just
sea
got
monsters.
A little bit extra.
It's got sirens. It's got a goddess of chaos.
Right? Exactly.
It's got a book of peace. I'd
Doesn't
let
that
the
book-
gods of chaos take my book apiece.
Exactly. Take it away.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
Yep.
Man.
Speaking
Speaking of take it away, that it went extinct. we're talking.
Sure.
We're talking about the Mastodon, or as it's formerly known as, Mammut.
Mammut.
It's like mammoth, which is mammoths, is the G's name for mammoth.
Ah, okay.
Mammuthus. This is just Mammut.
Mammut.
Turns out mastodons and mammoths are not very closely related. You'd think they would be.
Yeah, I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know what the differences are, which I imagine you're probably going to tell me.
Okay, so it's a type. It's a mammutid.
Mammutid.
A mammutid.
That's before Professor Moriarty's dastardly plan.
Get at
He
the mammut.
mammuted Sherlock Holmes off a cliff. And he said, "That's my fault now."
Sounds like he muted him so he couldn't send him any DMs.
yeah, exactly.
So mammutid, a group of proboscis mammals closely related to the elephants, but not quite.
Not quite, just a little bit off.
Yeah, it's like mammutid. It's like mooting them off the edge of a cliff. Like this, they're into edge play. You know, it's like they're not
Yeah.
quite elephants.
Oh, we're bringing back that millennial tease.
Yeah, of course, because this is a kids show.
Oh, right.
This is a
Family
family
friendly.
show. This is a podcast. No kids
Right.
listen. Kids don't listen to podcasts. They watch Twitch streamers play Minecraft or Fortnite or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. They're not into Professor Moriarty or
No, that's
edge
too old school.
play. I mean, they wouldn't get it.
Size 9.5 to 10.7 feet tall, or 2.9 to 3.3 meters tall. 10 to 11 tons, stocky.
I was say they are. I was gonna say thick, but I'm not sure thick is the right word.
Did you know?
I wanted to say thick because thick.
Yeah, but did you know that hippos
Heavy set.
Hippos
Yeah.
are not fat? That is muscle. If you look at muscular anatomy of a hippo, it is the exact same shape. If you didn't think hippos could be any more freaking terrifying,
Oh, I know.
like
They
I
are
already knew that hippos were dangerous, but I was
Yeah.
like, oh, they're still big and fat. Like, no, they have very little body fat.
That's so interesting. They can run faster than people.
They
too,
they
right?
are and because of that
Something?
muscle, they're freaking bulletproof. Like
Holy
they are tanks.
smokes.
Like
I had no idea.
that's why they can't really swim. You know how hippos can't really swim; they just walk around.
yeah.
So they're too heavy.
That
Muscle sinks, fat floats.
makes a lot of sense. Oh, that's why I sink.
Oh, yeah, you're so muscular. Yeah, obviously.
Sure. Yes, I sink.
No,
in
that
the
is all
air.
muscle that you have there too. You're like a power lifter. Your body's just a big bicep.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
one big
exactly.
bicep.
See, my legs are so thick with muscle from carrying around the rest of me.
Oh, I guess that's true. That could be true.
Yeah, there we go.
Anyways,
we'll say that.
All right, so diet herbivore. That's what you get when you eat all those vegetables. You get
It's a diet herbivore, so like it only has like the low fat vegetables,
yeah.
low sugar vegetables.
So it's all about the muscle building vegetables.
So it can't eat any cane sugar or anything.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's all about the spinach.
Gotcha. Ah, yeah, exactly.
Spinach and asparagus. Its pea smells bad.
Gotta have that asparagus.
Time early Pliocene to late Pleistocene. 5.3 million to 11,000 years ago.
Only 11,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, for you Overlord dinosaurs, that's basically yesterday, though, right?
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's like, really, does this even really count? I'm not sure that.
You saw the last mammut
be one of my
die,
subjects.
and you just saluted it. It's like, God,
Salute,
speed.
Mammut.
Salute mammoths.
Oh, speed, pilgrim.
Okay, well, location all throughout North Central America. That's where the mammut was. It's gone now. Spoiler alert.
Oh, man. Did I see something that they're trying to...
They're trying to bring back mammoths, and look, I'm against it, but not for the Jurassic Park reason. I just don't know what we do with it. The world is not fit for them anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it would be a glorified zoo animal really quickly. And I'm just like, that poor mammoth. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, bringing back dodos, bringing back passenger pigeons, bringing back Tasmanian tiger, animals we wiped out.
Yeah.
Fine with that.
That's a little different.
And,
yeah.
like, I don't mind necessarily, like, it's sort of like how, like, in Jurassic Park, they're like condors. If I brought back a flock of condors that were from extinction, you would have no problem with that. And Malcolm was like, yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that, but these are dinosaurs. They had their shot. And in some way, I agree with him. It's that, like,
yeah.
there's no reason for them to... There's nothing... The world's not ready for them yet.
Yeah.
The world's not...
Well,
we need to
the
take them...
world's not... They're not ready for the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they died out because they didn't evolve with the changing environment.
Yeah.
There's no
all
habitat
the
for them.
dinosaurs were very profoundly racist and homophobic.
Yeah, exactly.
And then someone
like,
came
do
in
we
with
want
they
those
them.
turfs in here with us?
Yeah. Oh
Like,
my God!
no.
Someone came in with they them pronouns. That was it for the dinosaurs.
Exactly.
Couldn't accept it. They all died.
Wait a second. Does that mean somebody already brought back a dinosaur, and that explains J.K. Rowling?
Yeah.
Oh.
God. Oh, J.K. Rowling.
Yeah. Enough of that depression.
It was described in 1792. Pop culture appearances, a ton of Ice Age and other Pleistocene documentaries, usually ones with terrible CGI and humans in loincloths.
Yep.
You know those like third or fourth rate TV documentaries you catch on like the Science Channel every once in a a where it's
Sci-fi.
where most of the time it's just like it's not even real, like they have like 2 or 3 minutes of CGI. Most of the time it's just scientists talking in front of bones.
Yeah.
And whenever they have the CGI, it's clearly very cheap.
Yep. It's like a shadow passing in the background.
Yeah.
Hear a couple trees crack.
Instead of like animating different fur, they just take like an elephant and kind of blur it
Yeah.
to make it look fuzzy.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's fuzzy picture, fuzzy fur. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Hey, look, it's fuzzy. Just want to pet it.
Okay, so here, let me explain the history of the Mastodon. Okay, in the Fargo history of the Year of Our Lord 2022, famed elongated muskrat and Kardashian of technology, Mr. Elon Musk, made the rash decision to purchase the behemoth's social media platform and self-esteem ruiner that was Twitter.
Oh, that was another dinosaur.
Yeah,
was a
that was a
bird.
dinosaur. It was a bird.
Yeah.
Since a muskrat could easily consume a bird,
Right.
he figured there would be no problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
He threw $40 billion down the toilet, and with a triumphant flush, he consumed Twitter in his elongated paws and jaws. That elongated muskrat.
That poor little bird.
That poor
All
little
it wanted
blue
to do was
bird.
tweet.
He claimed it was to create a space for free speech, believing everyone else censored people unfairly. Said long and mangy mustelid even claimed that he would keep his most vitriolic critics on the site, as that was what free speech was.
What?
Yeah.
People do
A
that?
bold claim, indeed, but alas, no matter how elongated this muskrat was, he could not keep the digested remains of the twittering bird within his wiry stomach. He proceeded to then raise the voices of Nazi sympathizers, such as Don John Trump and Kanye West, a man so far right he really should be called Kanye East. And then banned everyone who called him out or made fun of him.
But I thought it was about free speech.
No, it's not for his free speech. It's free speech for he, not for thee.
But then
But then,
he made that little check mark cost money.
that's the thing. He got rid of Twitter verification, and but you could get it back. Anyone can get it for a mere 8 shillings a moon.
But that's not free.
No. And it brought along a slew of imitators and trolls that very quickly revealed the holes in this system. And this rat, this ever so elongated muskrat, became the first person in history to lose $182 billion in a single year. Wow. I used to admire this muskrat. I used to think he was admirable, but alas, he is abominable.
Yes.
He did not want free speech for all, but uncensored speech for hatred without fear of others talking back. And thus, looking for a more survivable habitat, the denizens of this dismembered and discombobulated Twitterer migrated from the guts of the muskrat into the heart of the one and only Mastodon.
Dun dun dun.
A website using servers much like Discord. Mastodon, the successor of Twitter. Mastodon tramples muskrat.
But wouldn't that make Mastodon more like a phoenix?
In a way.
Rising
The
from
phoenix
the
of Twitter.
ashes.
The Twitter watches how Elon Musk sells Twitter back, and it changes from a blue bird to a yellow bird on fire.
That would be amazing.
And it's just like the
Oh,
phoenix of Twitter.
If he ever sells Twitter, that would be the most.
I mean, those
genius
wings are all
move
kind of
for
pointed.
the
Make
next
them
person.
make them fiery.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Anyways, yeah, that's how I'm going to open this episode of this prehistoric podcast. And don't you try to stop me.
Yeah, exactly.
As
We're
a-
talking about the Mastodon, and that is Mastodon.
Have you ever tried to use Mastodon?
I have not.
It's
actually.
very user unfriendly. They need to They need to
Really?
work out the kinks.
Yeah,
I really
feel
want
like
to join it because as much as I would like to be at the end of every episode, I doing my social media.
Yeah.
And let's just say, and Methadon64 on Mastodon. How fitting would that be for this show?
That would be so dope.
To have an official Paleobites Mastodon account.
Exactly.
Oh my god. Now, as far as the actual Mastodon animal, it's an interesting one for sure. Despite not being quite as impressive for one of those more famous cousins than the mammoth, it does have a funny name though. Its genus name is Mammut, which is also pretty funny. The informal name for it is Mastodon, and that's what they called it originally. Can you guess what Mastodon translates to?
Massive Dawn.
You know what? You're not far off.
Oh my gosh, really?
I mean, at least in terms of its sexual nature. Well, maybe not sexual, but let's say kinky.
Yeah.
It means breast tooth.
Breast tooth?
They claimed it was to do with the nipple-like projections on the crown of their molars, but I think they just had boobs on the brain.
You know, every time I'm brushing my teeth, and then, I floss a little bit, and, I'm kind of looking, making sure I got everything. I'm looking at my molars. I'm like, damn, wouldn't I like to motorboat those? And then I'm like, oh, no, wait, they're teeth.
They're teeth, not teats.
They're teeth, not teats. That should be the Mastodon's logo. They're teeth,
not teats. That's why I'm calling this Mammut the Mastodon, not Mastodon the breast tooth. That's not the name of this episode.
Ah, right.
The kit's tooth.
Exactly.
Oh, man. And seriously, breast tooth. A nipple does not get that sharp no matter how hard it is. I would know. I get around.
Exactly. I mean, you'd have to be naked in the middle of Canada in winter, and then, you take a piece of glass, press it up against your nipple, and then you just start cutting it. And it's like...
Well, he's talking very sexy, so it's not just the the cold. It's also the arousal, because nipples. Yeah.
Right. The cold, the arousal.
Yeah.
Por qué no los dos?
All right. So, anyways, mastodons differ from true elephants in that they had a longer body and shorter legs, but these legs were more heavily muscled, and the body was overall more robust.
Are they like the Dachshunds of mammoths?
Well, no. If it was like a Dachshund, but if it was really fat as well as long. Fat and stocky. Like a hippo, as we found out.
Yeah, exactly. Like the
so
hippo.
not fat, just muscle.
Got you.
if you see a dachshund and and then you try to pet it and it just reaches up, and then as it reaches up it pushes you over, that's the mastodon of dogs.
Got you. Yeah. Or if that Dachshund just
Dachshund, dachshund, I don't know.
Eats your entire skull and squishes it like a grape.
It's like it mice and men's you, but in reverse. It's mice and men, but in reverse. The animal doesn't realize its strength, so it kills you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Perfect.
God, I hated reading that book in English class as an animal lover. Do you ever read up Mice and Men?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
There are times where I think about it, and I'm like, I had a real good time reading that. And then I'm like, oh, no, the ending, though.
And the fact that the guy kept shaking animals playing with them until they died.
Yeah. I didn't know he was doing that, though.
Well, he didn't know, but he always felt so sad. Like, why is it dead?
I know.
I hated that. Hated that book. Classic English literature can go to hell.
Yeah.
Except, it's not English literature, but Dante's Inferno I actually think is a pretty good book. Anyway.
I've not read that one. Oddly enough.
Pretty good. Dante Alighieri.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of a trilogy too. People forget that Dante's Inferno is just the first part.
Really?
He then goes to Purgatory, and then he goes to heaven.
Oh.
The Inferno, Purgatory, and then Paradise, or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because people like dark things, it gets less and less popular as it goes on. The Inferno, everyone knows. The Paradise, who the hell cares?
Where's the pain and suffering?
Yeah. Where is the people getting split magically?
Exactly.
From the head to the dick, and
I want more scenes of people getting drawn and quartered.
Yeah.
Just to when you tear a wishbone off, and you get the biggest part. It's like when you get quartered. It's like which part of the genitals are they going to go with?
Yeah.
And then the people who do the quartering take bets. And whoever wins the genitals part of the quarter.
You said you haven't read it, and you're quoting the book directly. That's just wow.
I used my time machine. I actually just got back.
You just read it now. Yeah, it's
exactly.
pretty good, right?
I only had to go back 4 hours.
Give a review on it on Goodreads anyway. So the teeth of the mastodon, the signature breast teeth, have unusual cusp-like shapes that differ greatly from the plated teeth of mammoths and elephants. Because when I think of breasts, I think of cusps, not cups. Is that what they meant? What were these horny paleontologists on?
Mushrooms.
I guess that's what you get.
Maybe.
I guess what you get for being a virgin cuck paleontologist versus a Chad paleo-themed podcaster.
Yeah. Hey, at least we didn't name it that.
I wouldn't name it the breast tooth.
Exactly.
Or if it would have gone all out. Like, it's tits tooth.
Tits tooth. Yeah, exactly.
It's like knocker.
You gotta do it
knocker
right.
chompers.
Yeah.
God, I hope my neighbors aren't listening to this.
Well, if they are, they'll just realize that they're neighbors to a very famous person. And that one day they might get to use that for their own advantage. It'd be like, I used to live next to Matthew Donald.
That's
I even
helping each other
them.
out. That's socialism, baby.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, all right. So, anyways, mastodons, like most of the Ice Age megafauna, went extinct about 10,000 years ago due to the warming climate, which affected the plants they fed on and thus their diet. Early humans hunting them didn't help much either, and thus the once proud and mighty boob tooths went the way of the dodo and went extinct.
Sad. Poor boob tooth. Is that the predecessor to Bluetooth? The boob tooth?
Boob tooth, yeah. I mean,
I would much prefer the boob tooth. I mean, imagine putting a boob in your ear to hear and talk to people.
Well, I mean, imagine how the symbol wouldn't even have to change too much. Did you know that Bluetooth is a rune? That's why it looks like that. It's the rune of an old Viking, not Viking, some sort of king somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, I think it was actually named after.
Yeah, like Sir Blue, and that's why it looks like a rune, because it is a rune. It looks like that old Viking script.
Yeah, I did know that somewhere in the deep recesses.
That's a fun fact, listeners. That's not doing paleontology and isn't inappropriate, listener.
What?
We gotta get back to the boob teeth.
Exactly. Gotta get back to them titty teeth.
Oh man.
Wow, that's So does that mean that that muskrat? Elongated muskrat. Does he have people out hunting that mastodon right now?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, he's got a whole crowd of sycophants hunting.
Well, since it's the last one, maybe we should start protecting it like the environmentalists we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Protect the boob.
Stand up for the boob tooth.
Yeah, it's like free the boob tooth.
Free the boob tooth.
No, confine the boob tooth. Keep it safe. Like, I don't know.
Well, no, it can be free as long as it lives.
Oh, I guess that's true. Okay.
Yeah,
Hey, here.
You
Okay.
don't want to enslave it. I mean, what kind of life would that be for the boob?
Okay. So here's the thing. You got boob tooth. What if you had tooth boob? It could be like Laura Croft from the PS1 days, where it's like tooth boobs.
That'd be a little bit more difficult to motorboat, but that might actually be painful.
Well, some people are into that.
Oh, that's true. That is true. People like some pain.
Sadomasochism, anyways.
To each their own, I guess.
God,
Like
what do you do to me on this podcast?
Like the clamps that are just like teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like cat tongues. You ever felt cat's tongue? It's
Oh,
freaking sandpaper,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, just put sandpaper on there. That's all you need to do.
Anyways, let's rate this boob tooth. 1 out of 65 million.
Well, so before I rate, I just want to double check the main difference is just that it's like stockier.
Stockier, a little bit heavier,
Remember?
and also from a completely different family of animals. So, not completely different, but like.
Right, yeah, like
Also, they only lived in like America. I mean, well, there were mammoths in America too. Most of them they were in Europe and Asia too. So.
yeah. Well, the mastodons were only
Only in North and South America. North and Central America, I should say.
Interesting. Is the mammut is that like an Inuit kind of name? Because it kind of
Mammut?
sounds like an Inuit.
It does sound that way. I
Right?
could see that. Hold on, let me check live on air because I'm a professional.
The live on air check.
All right.
Let's do it.
What are we doing on Twitter?
What are we doing on Twitter?
I'm on Twitter. I meant to go on Wikipedia and went on Twitter. I was too busy talking about the elongated muskrat. And I went back to his lair.
Yeah, he snared you again with
Oh,
those
God. Got to get back to the
elongated
mastodon.
claws.
Mastodon is an informal name because it's a common term for members of the genus. The valid name Mammut. When the change was met with resistance, authors similarly applied Mastodon as informal. Okay, why was it called Mammut? I think it's just short for mammoths.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just kind of has that, like, sound to it.
Yeah, Mammut.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Also, Mammut is the name of a roller coaster at the German theme park Urban Spark Tripstil.
Wow.
And also there's an Icelandic indie pop and rock alternative band called Mammut. Can you imagine being indie in freaking Iceland? There are already like 10 people on that island anyways.
Right?
And to be indie among Icelandic pop groups.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyways.
Okay.
I'm rating Mammut like 30 million. 33 million because of the boobs.
33 million for the boobs.
The boob tooth, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go about 40 million. You know,
Yeah.
good old boob teeth. You know, maybe it ain't so bad. Maybe it had softer teeth or something. You know.
God, look, I feel comfortable sharing this on there, but let's see if I feel like keeping this in later. Because when you're a 13-year-old and everything is horny when you're 13. One of the weird fantasies I had was this one girl getting like transformed to live in the jungle or like the wilderness and like. One of the things that kept her she had to be naked, of course, because
of course.
You don't need clothes in the jungle.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
But one of the transformations to help her with her new jungle environment was that her boobs, rather than being filled with milk, were filled with venom, and the nipples became little
pincers
kind
of thing.
Yeah, or like barbs.
Yeah, stingers.
So I guess you could just thrust her chest.
Oh, you know what they were?
What?
That is actually where the iguanodon had its little thumbs.
Yes.
It's not actually thumbs.
Anyways, now you know where 13-year-old Matthew Donald's mind went. Why do after this, I'm going to call my girlfriend and thank her so much for making sure that I am not dying alone in this world.
Exactly. And then just make sure she just doesn't listen to this. Or maybe,
anyone.
Maybe, if you get really fun.
The thing is, I think I've already told her this. And she's still with me. I gotta thank her. Wow.
Wow. Yeah. But, you really will have to thank her. Now this is when she doesn't want to listen, I guess, because, I'm going to suggest get little spikes to put on there for, some role play or something. I don't know.
That's it for this week. You want to get a hold of the show? Don't. You'll find me on social media. Don't.
Or if you want to find out if she took the suggestion later on.
I have a book series on Amazon, Mechazoic.
Yeah.
Available for print and Kindle. No Mastodons in it. A bit later. And nope. That's for this week.
Oh, teeth.
This is the end of every episode of Peel Your Boots. I gotta get out of here, man.
I'm not sure if he's trying to leave or he might actually
I'm
be
trying to leave.
About this,
Was I not subtle enough for you?
I mean, it could go the other way. It could just be like, I gotta kick you out. My girlfriend's gotta come over. We gotta go to the romantic store down the street. We'll talk to you later.
Bye, listeners.